Alright everyone, so the car's pretty much ready to start painting and everything. So I've got the center pieces masked off. I'm going to do those black. The rest is going to be that Nardo color. As you see, we have the holes for the hood pins and everything. I'm going to start working on this stuff, and then I'm going to skip a bunch and then show you me actually painting the rest of the car. I'll mask off everything else and get this all ready to go. Alright, so we sprayed the first couple coats, and the majority of it's looking really good. We do have this one section right by where the rear spoiler goes that we're having a little bit of a reaction. We're not really sure what's going on, but basically the only way to do this is to complete the Plasti Dip, finish doing it, and then if it's still an issue, we can either try to fix it or we're going to have to peel it and redo it, but we have to at least get it thick enough that we can peel it off. So we're going to keep spraying, hope it turns out better, but if it doesn't, we'll just have to figure out what to do. Alright, so here it is after it dried. This is the little bit of texture I was talking about, and if you look at the rest of it, it actually came out really, really smooth. So, got to figure out what's going on here before we keep going. Alright, so we got the car primed. Everything that's masked off has been painted black, and we're basically just going to start Plasti Dipping the rest of the car. Let's see how it turns out. I'm pretty hopeful. The black turned out really well. I'll show you guys all of it after we're done with it. So I'm gonna get back to work. It turned out pretty good actually, and I'm happy with the results. I peeled off all the areas that were the peel when wet. With Plasti Dip, you have to peel the edges that make contact directly with the dip and the tape. So we did that, and once it's completely dry, I'll peel off the rest of the masking and we can... Really happy with how it turned out overall, but it's not perfect. This is my first time spraying a whole car with Plasti Dip. I've done parts before, but never an entire car, so I did mess up in a few areas. We had an issue a little bit with some of the tape in the sharper angles lifting up. So if you look here, there's actually some overspray onto the black, so I'm gonna have to remask and fix that. And there is still that section of a little bit of texture on the back here. It's not terrible. It is better since we sanded down a little bit with 600 grit and that pre-dip spray before the last coat. So that helped a little bit, but as you can see, it's still there. It's not actually as bad in person, but on camera it shows up a little bit more. I'm going to leave that for now. The rear spoiler curves back a little bit and kind of covers some of this. But for now, I'm going to leave it because that's really the only spot we had any major issue. So for now, that's staying, but in the future, that will be redone, but not for a while. I'm going to leave it like this for at least over this winter. And on the rear section back here, there is a tiny section where we missed with the masking. So we got a little bit of the Nardo overspray onto the black, so we will touch that up. But yeah, overall, very happy with how it turned out. There are just some little imperfections around the car. Alright, so the car has changed a lot since the last video, so I'm going to give a quick walk around, show you guys what I got done. The car's not finished by any means, there's still a long ways to go. But I'm going to be trying to get more done in each video, so the videos might not be as frequent, but hopefully we get a lot more done and the car gets finished a little bit quicker. So first things first, one of the biggest changes is we actually got a windshield installed. It took us a while to find one, but we finally did, and very happy with the one we found. The company that we originally talked to that was going to install a new windshield actually backed out when they found out that we weren't installing the Chrysler Sebring windshield in a Chrysler Sebring. They were skeptical about installing it in a different kind of car. So I found a used one, and we got really lucky. There's no scratches or chips or anything like that, so it's a really good windshield. It's watertight, we checked it and everything, so happy about that. We also got a rear view mirror with a backup camera in it. I still have to install the mounting plate to install the mirror actually permanently, but we have all the wiring and everything for the backup camera. I just zip tied it to the roll cage and all the way back. Attached the camera right back here on this rear trim piece. But since this isn't mounted yet, it's not plugged in or anything. We did test it, made sure it works, and it's kind of a necessity with one of these for a backup camera because it's not really the best visibility. The rear windshield area is tiny, and we do still have to install that rear windshield. But yeah, I'll show you this working in the next video. We also ordered the side mirrors. We saw a very similar one on the new version of the Vaydor, the Valera Vet. Had very similar mirrors to these, and I liked them a lot, so decided to try them out on the Vaydor. I'm not sure I love them on the Vaydor yet, so I only have one on at the moment. I'm going to leave it on for a little bit, see how I like it, and maybe swap it out. I still have the original G35 ones, so I'm just going to keep them on here for a little bit, see how I like it, and then maybe swap them out later. And I did get the main part of the dash actually finished. I ended up flocking it. I was thinking about flocking it before, hadn't seen one in person, so I decided to try to wrap it. And then I went to some car shows, saw one flocked, decided I liked it, so it actually turned out really, really well on this. It's a little dusty right now, but it turned out really well, so I'm happy with that. I still have to finish the rest of the parts. I have this piece I made out of fiberglass just as an insert, and I still have to cut out the air vent holes. As you see, I moved it over. I did that in a different video when I filled the old hole in, and I'm going to be using these vents. They're out of a F-150. A lot of other Vaydors use similar ones to these. I think they use the chrome ones, but I liked the black ones better. So I still have to cut all the holes for those and all the places where the screens and everything like that go. We also got some 3-inch foil duct tubing so we can run all the AC vents to the proper holes and everything like that. So I'll be installing that whenever I install the dash. But overall, the dash is getting pretty close to being ready to be installed in the car. So that should be in the next video or so. I also got a new coolant reservoir. I got one of these in red, but somehow I just completely lost it. So I got a silver one to install on the car. This is the original coolant overflow tank, and as you can see, this one is much smaller, and we're hoping this one will fit much better in the car. This original one is a little bit too big, and you can't close the hood completely with it in. So yeah, that's what this is for. I also ordered side markers for the car. I only need 4 of them, but I got a pack of 10 off of Amazon. Both sides up here, and then on the rear over there, pretty much just for legal reasons. And right now, the plan for the rest of the build as it goes now is I'm trying to get everything done that I need to for registration so I can get it inspected and be able to drive it around a little bit before it gets too cold out and starts snowing and everything like that. So I want to be able to drive it a little bit. So if you look at the very beginning of this video, we actually took a drone shot just of the car pulling out of the garage. And we're not too great at controlling it yet, so we decided not to take a bunch of drone shots now. We're going to practice with it some, and then next video, hopefully we'll have some pretty cool looking drone shots of the fully dipped car. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.